Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We are going to start permutations and combinations. This is a, a chapter which like whose questions are mostly like riddles. Okay, I'll be dividing the whole chapter into three parts. First of all, there are some like mental math type questions, okay, and where I'll be we shall be discussing that how can we find the uh, the asked number of orders through n factorial through a times b or a times b times c, so on like that, and that will be eventually leading towards the n factorial. Okay, so that is just like a warm-up activity. If you people are clear about like this first session, then inshallah you will be able to handle the permutations and the combination thing. Okay, basically this chapter is about finding the number of arrangements or the number of selections or the number of choices, or in how many ways a certain thing can be done, in how many ways we can put a certain given number of objects in an order. Okay, so now let's start. Suppose bacho, you have three paintings. Okay, there are three paintings. The paintings are A, B, and C, and you want to arrange them. You want to, like, on your drawing room's wall, you want to, like, there are three slots over here. Okay, and you want to like display them on the wall. So in how many ways we can do that? In how many ways this can be done? Yes, everyone must be open for the discussion. Okay, no shyness, no hesitation, or no silence would be tolerated today. Yes, how many ways are there to arrange these paintings on the wall? Yes, yes, anyone? I'm not sure.
Six.
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 Okay. If Satash, you think there are six ways.
Nine.
Nine. Okay. Who was that for the nine? Who's
Hazama.
okay? Husama, you said nine. Very good. Okay. Yes. Satish, you said six. How do you think there are six ways of arranging them? These three paintings.
Sir, if you go with 3 factorial, then it's like 6.
We don't know what is this factorial. So Amna, do you know? Like the answer is right. That is six. But how can this be justified that this is really six?
Sir, we can try through trial like ABC, and then there's ACB, and then there's
Exactly,
BAC and
exactly.
BCA.
Yeah, exactly. Basically, you can start like you can keep the painting A on the extreme left, okay, and this is your A, then your B and C. Then this can be A, C, and B. Then this can be B, A, C, or B, C, A. Then C, A, B, and then C, B, A. So this is how these are. There are six possible arrangements if we want to display these three paintings on the wall. Okay, now see how we shall be doing this. Just see that. We shall say, okay, we have three slots. Okay, we have three slots. This diagram you will be using a lot here. So we have three slots with us, and for when you have three paintings in your hands, okay, so that means any one of those three can be fixed on the first slot. So therefore you had three options with you. Okay, so once you have, like, any of these three, you have fixed this at the first spot here, then how many paintings do you have with you to be fixed here? Or how many options left for this block over here?
2.
That is 2, okay?
2, sir.
Yeah. And then this is going to be 1 left over here, okay? So this has to be 3 times 2 times 1. So therefore, as Satish was saying, this is basically 3 factorial, okay? So your answer would be that is equal to 6. Now, the question over here that you must be very clear, you must ask if it is not clear, that why do we have the multiplication sign over here? That is the thing. You must be clear that why do we have the multiplication sign here?
Sir, it's because it's an OR case.
It is an OR case or AND case?
And sorry, it's an AND case.
Basically,
AND case.
this is both OR and, like, you know, or in this case, like, you know, this is, you can say this is or, or, okay? So you can see that if you look at this over here, how many letters are you seeing here, like, you know, being arranged here with this? So that is, you know, this is like 1, 2, 3. And then if you cancel out this, for example, you focus on this A, okay? So you cancel out A's from here. So you have 2 left over here. And then if you see after that 2, for example, you cancel out the B's from here, okay? Sorry, from here, the B's and A's. So there's only one thing left over here. Anyhow, so you can add all of them, or you can think, okay, 3 options here. And now, again, I'm asking you, you must be very clear that why do we have the multiplication sign here? Because that is going to be a problem at the very end of the chapter. Okay, is it clear that we have a multiplication sign over here?
No, sir. Can you please
Okay,
explain
okay,
it?
okay. I make it clear to you then. Now, suppose instead of these like, you know, these 3 paintings, now suppose we have we have 2 boys, okay, and 3 girls. And these are our players of table tennis, suppose. And we have to send a pair of players, like 1 boy and 1 girl, for a competition. How many pairs are possible? Yes, how many pairs?
So 10.
2, 10.
6.
This is basically 6 pairs. Now, suppose the names of these 2 boys are A and B. Okay, A and B. And the girl's name is XYZ. Okay, the girls are X, Y, Z. Now, one of the pair can be AX, it can be AY, it can be AZ. So how many pairs are these? These are 3 possible pairs. Okay, you have AX, you have AY, you have AZ, or you can see that this can also be BX, BY, and BZ. Okay, this is BX, BY, and BZ. So guys, this way you see that you had 2 options from here and you had 3 options from here. So this is going to be 2 times 3. Okay. And when you will be towards the very end of the chapter, when you will be dealing with the combinations, you would be saying 2C1 times 3C1. Okay. I'll tell you what do we mean by this C when we maybe we reach there tomorrow, inshallah. Okay. So now you see that rather than listing all of them, you can simply multiply this. There are 2 options from here, 3 options from here. So we have 6 options altogether. Is it clear to you now that why do we have the multiplication sign? So this was simply 2 times 3. So that is basically this situation that I was telling in the very beginning, like, you know, we have A times B situation. Okay? Can
Okay,
we
sir.
proceed now? Huh?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, guys, now suppose you have 5, like you want to hire a driver, okay? and there are 5 candidates for that, and you want to send them for a test drive. You want to see that how good they are or how bad they are. So there are 5 drivers. So in how many ways you can test those 5 drivers? Yes. In how many ways we can test those 5 drivers? Yes. Anyone? Any guess? Any wild guess?
So could you
In one
repeat the
driver.
question?
The question is that there are 5 candidates for a slot of a driver. Okay, you want to hire a driver. Okay, we need one driver. So you want to suppose interview them, or you want to see that how good these are. Like you have to choose one of these 5 drivers, and you want to interview all 5 of them. So in how many ways you can interview them?
So
So
one way.
five.
5
One.
ways. Okay. Now listen. Now please, I'm telling you, you have to be very open. Okay. You just, because your wrong answers would tell me that I need to explain this more. If you just remained silent, that will not tell me about how much you people are understanding today's task. Okay. Now there are 5 slots over here. There are 5 different times on which you can interview these 5 candidates. Okay. So you have to at random pick the first driver. Okay. So how many options for the first driver do you have?
5.
5. Okay. So you have 5 options for here. Once that driver has been interviewed, he will go away. So how many are left then?
4.
4. Okay. And then 3, and then 2, and then 1. So this is basically your 5 factorial. So you want to interview 5 candidates. So, you know, the number of possible ways of interviewing them is 5 factorial. Okay. You have, let's say, 4 tasks to be done at home. For example, you have to do your maths assignment. You have to clean up your room. Okay. You have to maybe water your plants. Okay. And you have to let's say you have to edit a video. Okay, so these are the 4 tasks, and this is up to you that which task you do first. Okay, so in how many ways you can perform all these 4 different tasks?
24.
4 factorial.
So that is going to be 4 factorial basically. So again, you have 4 options for the very first slot. Okay. So this would be something like this. Okay. So that is 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Okay. So, so this would be done uh, through the 4 factorial way. Okay. You have 10, there are 10 students and you are the head girl, suppose, and you want to make them stand in front of the canteen in a queue. So in how many ways you can make them stand in the queue?
10 factorial.
That is 10 factorial. That is 10 factorial. Okay. Acha. We'll be coming back to this 10 factorial thing. Let me ask you one more question regarding this. Suppose um, you are you are at home, okay, and like you're totally free, okay. You have 5 options for the movies, like you can watch any one of those 5 movies, and then you have some time left to play, like in your mobile phone there are 6 games. You can play any one of those 6 games. Okay. So you have to watch one movie and you have to play one game from here. So in how many ways you can do this, or how many different combinations are there, or your choices, like you watch one movie from here and you play one game from here? Yes, how many different combinations are there or different pairs of these activities do you have?
So 5 factorial into 6 factorial?
150.
When you
30.
when you're saying 5 factorial into 6 factorial, 5 factorial means you are watching all those 5 movies. Well, I'm saying just you have to watch one of those movies. So can we use the 5
तो 30
factorial?
या
Huh?
Sir,
30 नहीं होगा sir?
Yeah,
The
this should be
5C.
30 because you will pick any one of these 5 from here, okay? So that would be 5. And you will pick any one game from here, so that would be 6. So this is a movie and a game, so this should be 5 times 6. This is
But
5.
sir, इसकी range of combinations नहीं बनेंगी.
So obviously banengi, let me show you through the listing. Yeah, let me show you by listing them. Okay. And that is what I require from you people, that if it is not clear, we must have an argument together. Okay. Now, suppose these 5 movies are, the movie is A, B, C, D, E. And the games are, this is game number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So you can watch the movie A, or you can, with this movie A, you can play any of these games. Okay. So with only A, you have 6 options. How many options with the movie B?
6.
6. And for every one of them, you have 6 options. So that is why you have 5 times 6. Okay. And I'm telling
Sir,
you,
thank you.
in towards the end of your chapter, you will be doing it like this: 5C1, 6C1. Should I tell you what does this mean? Because we normally do this at the very end of this chapter, but this is in my, all of this lecture, this is happening to be in the beginning of your chapter. This is 5C1 times 6C1. This actually means that you have to choose one movie from these 5 ones, okay? And one game from the 6 games available. So that is 5C1 times 6C2. So, you have 30.
Sir,
Yes, beta.
sir, if it was an or case, like either you could watch the movie or the games, then you would plus them?
Exactly. Very good question, Vita. I think this is a very timely asked question. Okay. Now you have 5 movies and you have again 6 games. So the question is, you're going to watch one movie, or, very good question, beta, you're going to watch one movie or one game. Okay. So how many options do you have, choices do you have? So obviously you will, like, you're just going to do one activity. Here you are doing 2 activities. You are watching a movie and then you were playing a game. So that is why you had this multiplication sign. Now because of this or over here, you are going to either watch a movie or you're going to play a game. So that would mean you 5 options for the movies, 6 options for the games. So your answer would be 5C1 plus 6C1, or you can simply say 5 plus 6, that is going to be 11. Now this should be clear to you, bacho. This should be clear to you. Yes, is it clear that why do we add here and why are we multiplying here?
जी sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
let's take one more example like this. I think Satash, you asked this, and that was really a good question. Now, suppose, bacho, you are in a restaurant, okay, and let's say there are 3 starters, okay. There are 5 different dishes in the main course, okay, and let's say there are 2 desserts, okay. Acha. Now, you have to pick one starter, one from the main course, and one dessert. Okay. So, in how many ways you can have your food?
30.
30.
Yes, because you have 3 options from here: 5 options from here and 2 options from here. So that is why this is going to be 30. Okay. So this is also 3C1, 5C1, 2C1. Okay. Now suppose if you were allowed to have 2 from here, from this main course, you could enjoy 2 dishes. So this could be 5C2. Okay. So this is these are your combinations, your choices you can have. Okay. Now let me confuse you a bit. You must be clear about this, but your whole chapter is going to be, uh, a nightmare for you if you are not clear about these 2 things. Now, suppose the question is, in how many ways you can have the food, okay? Or what is the possible number of choices? Now, when it says how many ways, okay, and here it is the number of choices. You have to see that in which case there is a significance of order and in which case there is no significance of order. Okay. Order, that is the key over here to determine that if this is a permutation or a combination. Okay. Suppose it was about in how many ways you can have this food.
क्यों लिखा है?
Yes, beta.
सर आपने 5C2 क्यों लिखा है?
Because you can have 2 different things, 2 different dishes from the main course. So now we have, you can choose 2 out of these 5. Okay. You can choose 2 out of 5. ठीक है? चलें, अभी फिलहाल I'll not confuse you about this order thing. Let's focus on this. Let me confirm this from you that if you're clear about this, when do you do this A times B and when do you have this n factorial? Okay. You want to interview 5 people, 5 factorial. You want to arrange 10 people in a line, 10 factorial. You want to have food. There are 3 different dishes. So in how many ways you can have that? That is 3 factorial. Okay. This A times B is when you have different sets of objects with you, like, these are the starters, they're the main course, there desserts. So this is going to be 3 into 5 into 2. I'm not going to consider these cases right now. Okay. So you must be clear that how do you have this 3 into 5 into 2. So let me make a check again if you're clear about this n factorial and A times B thing, and then I'll take you to the permutation thing. Is it clear, bacho, that, okay, I can ask you a question that will tell me that if you are clear or not, okay? Now, yes, I'll take a name from here and I'll ask from one of you. Okay, Aliza Mujahid, I'm going to ask you a question here. Aliza Mujahid, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Aliza, beta. Now suppose you have you have 6 different tasks to perform in the school, and you're totally free that which one you want to do first. Okay, so in how many ways you can do that? Do all those 6
Sir,
tasks?
6 factorials.
Very good. That is 6 factorial. Okay, Lisa, you have understood. Okay. Now, let me ask the next question from Jazila bete. Jazila, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Jazila beta, you have to hire a cook for your house. Okay, and there are 20 people there. There are 20 candidates. In how many ways you can interview them?
20 factorial.
That is 20 factorial. Absolutely right. You are absolutely right. That is going to be 20 factorial. Okay, let me ask the next question from Natalia. Natalia, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Natalia, suppose you're living in a Haveli, okay? There are 5 different ways you can reach the top of your Haveli, okay? And then there are 6 ways of coming down, because you can directly jump from the top floor of that Haveli as well, okay? So there are 5 ways of going up, and there are 6 ways of coming down, okay? In how many ways you can go up and come down?
30.
That is very good. That is 30 ways. So this is 5 times 6. So that is going to be 30. Okay. One more question maybe from Sana. Are you there? Yes, Sana. Sana is not there. She is saying something in the chat. Okay. Roma, are you there? Roma. Neha, are you there? Neha.
Ji, sir.
Acha Neha beta, suppose you have, let's say, yes, you have 6 brackets, okay? And like these are rackets of different companies, okay? 6 rackets of different companies. And let's say there are 3 balls, okay? You have table tennis match coming up, okay? You have to take 1 racket and a ball with you. So in how many ways you can do this?
Sir, 6C1 into 3C1.
Exactly, or simply 6 times 3, that is going to be 18 ways. Okay, so guys, we are through with the first level of this permutation combinations. That was the thing where you have to think mentally that where do you apply this factorial thing and where do you do that, like, A times B times C, okay? Basically, if you look at this cleverly, carefully, they both are the same, okay? Let me add one more thing, one more situation over here. When you have A times A times A, or A raised to power N, okay? Now suppose you have, let's say, you have 5 ways of going to a town. There are 5 shopping malls where you can shop. There are 5 restaurants where you can have food. And then there are 5 ways of coming back. So in how many ways you can do all these 4 things? Going to the town and shopping there, and then eating, and then coming back. In how many ways you can do that?
Sir, 625.
Or that is going to be 5 raised to power 4. That is same as 5 into 5 into 5 into 5. So that is why it is 5 raised to power 4. Is it clear why it is 5 raised to power 4? But so if there is anyone in trouble, please let me know. Otherwise, I can't help you, because you will be simply saying at the end, yaar, bada mushkil topic tha yaar, nahi samajh aaya. So this is the time where you can understand this. You can simply say, कि sir, आप बहुत confused कर रहे हैं, या जो भी आपको चाहिए. So is it clear? This is going to be 5 raised to 4. No one.
Ji, sir.
Okay, okay. Now, suppose you are going to roll a die, okay? We have recently finished that probability. Now, if you roll a die twice, how many possible outcomes are there?
36.
That is 36.
36.
Because you remember, some of you were saying 12 when I asked you, when you roll a die twice, you were adding them 6 plus 6, okay? What if you roll that die 10 times? What will be the number of outcomes?
6 raised to power 10.
6 to power 10.
6 raised to power 10. Absolutely. You roll a die for 10 times, it's going to be 6 raised to power 10. Okay. So what if you roll that for n times? What will be the number of outcomes?
6 raised to power n.
That will be 6 raised to power n. Now suppose you toss a coin. You toss a coin 3 times. What is the number of possible outcomes?
8.
8. That is 2 cubed. If you roll that for 5 times, I mean, you toss that coin 5 times. So what is the number of possible outcomes then?
32.
That is 2 raised to 5. And if you toss that coin n times, so what will be the number of those outcomes?
2 raised to
2
power
raised
n.
to power
2 raised to power n. Okay. So like making a last check over here before we end this first session here, you have to be very clear that if you know that when do we have the n factorial, when do we have a times b times c, and when do we have a times a, like, this is up to n times. So is it clear to all of you about these 3 different situations? Is there anyone who
Yes,
needs?
sir.
Okay. Okay, bacho. So from here, we end this first session. In the next session, I'll be talking about the permutations. Okay.